seemingly
been recording the whole time, streaming and recording. Wait, okay, PRX on defense, G2 on attack.
Been an accelerated rise.
Stream's still up.
You wouldn't think that this was a team coming in from Ascension, and now, well, they're one of the contenders.
Yeah, and so PRX, they feel like their best chance of getting a map with G2 is on Icebox.
They made the whole run all the way to the grand finals without dropping a series. This is a squad that PRX definitely can't underestimate, and well, if Mimi's right, and the matchup and style is going to be different, could give the edge over to that G2 squad. Attack side to start it out here on Icebox, and a slow push up to the A site. Spike waiting outside B. They're just taking space, contesting for some of those angles. PRX yet to react.
But that's the thing, the defensive side.
My emotes are slugs, yeah. Yours are worms, no way. I'll come check them out after.
They're just looking for fights.
So
they're
funny.
Looking to try and battle. And this ruse has already been sold. There was only one defender, more of a retake setup for PRX, and I'll be honest with you, I think they're going to have to retake.
Yeah, there's not much of a choice here. Even the spam's not going to yield much if they were to go for them. Instead, grouping up the blob play, just leaving something to go through the kitchen, while the rest look for the site control. Now,
I mean, we have Wall for retake. They got to be ready for this util-wise.
Checking the flank.
They got no util. I mean,
as soon
as this wall goes up, everyone needs to swing.
To get on that spike and start the defuse. Back yellow fight
goes up.
Point of contention still being held onto by Leaf, getting closer to block that defuse around the wall, and they're dropping bodies all over the place. Only left to Divide, and he's quickly shut down.
It's not a great sign.
Made it through on the
messed up the wall a little bit. There was a gap that you could peek over towards the, if you're on defense, the left side of it. Yeah, dude, they're laughing about it, man. G2 are laughing about it. He pinged the exact wall that he did.
The whole setup is you don't have that duelist because you have tons of utility to get you in, and then plenty to get you out. And obviously the idea from PRX is try and use the wall to your advantage, but you can see G2 are more than happy to re-aggress, and this is a round where they're low on utility as well. Like, you're not going to have those major investments as you'll see in future rounds.
That is Pistol Gods keeping up their record.
Economy advantage we see for G2.
You jump on the wall. Yeah, so you could jump on the wall from here, and you could see it from the floor here as well. It's like possibly the worst wall you could have done.
I think Divine might have been spotted by the Giant.
Yeah, he popped up on the mini-map, nice and easy. Leafs even managed to find Jing, but at the cost of his life, still just a pistol lost. While they take control on the other side of the map and get the plant down. Again, we're going to see the post-plant setup and the dangers of this round. Often you will see a bit of a danger.
We got two people that can die
still alive to put the wall down, potentially.
And the stream up slightly, sure.
A decent amount of ground on the defuse.
How long been playing Valorant?
EMEA a couple of times. But yeah,
honestly, since it came out, man, like 4 years now, I guess it is.
But for PRX,
is it 4 years this game's been out?
So it's going to be a pretty
just under
difficult
3 years.
time trying to do anything in the way of damage. Something's made it up behind though, and he might be able to drop a few weapons.
Yeah, we say playing.
Nice shots with Trent down.
I played for like the first 3 months of the game, and then
costly for G2, and something didn't look to be stopped anytime soon.
That was it ended up being pretty good damage.
Still, 2 rifles carried forward. That's decent damage for PRX.
Yeah, no, that's really
4
not
years,
bad,
2 months, and 2 days. Oh, really? Okay, there we go.
Do that much damage. He's a couple away from a Blaze
Stream is now too loud.
Immediately going to invest straight into the Outlaw.
Somewhere in the middle, like
again,
this.
I think if there's going to be win conditions, you're always going to look at the individuals on PRX. Like, they're a team that a lot of the time they're talking about the idea of rolling without an IGL. Like, you know that it's going to come down to those individual fights.
Dudaski with the Prime, thank you so much, man.
There's been so many
appreciate that. Welcome in as well.
Like the first, I think it was the first week he played Jet on this map.
Some at least,
he had one of the craziest,
damage done.
Plays you've ever seen
fish all on attack though, so the snowball potential is very much
and for G2 in this round, there is going to be a piece
good to get this orb on Trent as well.
If you lose one, you're only going to have
so they have the ult for the 5th round or 4th round if they want it.
But they do have themselves Thrash, the only ultimate that will be available in this round, unless, as said, something gets a couple of extra kills.
Well, Harbor's using all his utility to clear out these angles. They've gained space, but
nice,
towards
A,
poking and prodding the bear, trying to see where the aggression was coming through. They found out the hard way.
Over towards B, though, we've got a plant. And do they even know this? Because normally this would be like a 4-1.
Flank attempt by Jonah P. Better find
and they killed the 1, so they actually have no idea about the luck here. Alarm bot should.
Just 2 players defending around that angle. Still the Killjoy utility on, so it's not like Jonah P. is going to get a free fight onto these guys.
Oh, wait, Forsaken actually has some lineups here.
Yeah, it might just be out of range right about now, but the problem is there's no one else left to draw their eye. It's only Jonah P. And, well, his chances of stopping this defuse are anyway. 0.
Yeah, I mean, no damage done on this one. I'm even seeing Forsaken have some lineups over towards site as well for retake. Recon that lands here at the top that scans like the floor at the top. That's a good sign.
They're going to be able to buy into this next round. That is the thing, though. You go towards the A site. As long as something's there, which you will be in most rounds, you're going to have to challenge him. You're going to have to fight him, and I believe that was just low shields in this round for Leaf. So something that, again, they're going to have to keep in mind for future. But I don't mind what PRX are doing at the moment. Even though, as said, it's always going to be tough to play those retakes if the weaponry's online and if G2 have all their utility. They're basically just relying on, okay, can we
get a relatively big buy round. They didn't use the official into it maybe because they went over to wall.
Well, early game
and they had a free plant.
A little bit of scouting coming in from Thrash, gone back around to the back.
I don't like this from PRX. They're 4-1. They kind of gamble a little bit, knowing they're going to use the official maybe a little bit earlier into it because of the pick that happens. And the problem with this is the person that needs to wall defuse is going behind, so keep an eye on the 2 flanks.
He's sticking around as well to try to execute. It's going to be a tough fight, though. Something and Jing hot on his tail.
And now they know. Immediately. Thrash is going to be utilized, and you can see something almost trying to bait it out, but instead it's going to be Jing caught. Can he try and defend him? No,
I tell you what, that was incredibly impressive from Icy to see the jet and still go left, check left, and stun.
Are immediate from the G2 side. The fundamentals looking strong, and
shout out to Icy on this one. That decision pretty much owned them that round. I was thinking the bait was pretty smart here. PRX.
They are allowing that plant down every round on B.
Not full for that one.
I mean, the idea here, you're trading out the early plan for the early flank.
There's a chance someone on the floor saw him
just
fast.
The fact that there's a Thrash available and that they use it so quickly and get it right into the correct position, the player up close is the one caught, and the fight initiated on the one further back. And once you eliminate something in Jing, well, the round gets a whole lot easier. 3-1 for G2, a solid start. Now a big challenge, though. Round 5 sees PRX still investing, and with no shields, something's pulled out the operator. Glass cannon, it's a risk, but it just might pay off.
He could have just played Bladestorm as well, so it really does show the faith he has in that gun. But he went over to the B site early. They tried to make that
adaptation. The early luck on this one. Dude, G2 are G2 just not going way faster than we've ever seen them. Like decisive map control here into B hit like 3 times in a row, and then now we have fast A take. You cut sound waiting for some kind of reaction with the Plucker at middle.
Oh, I think that was through the orb.
There's a smoke
the orb was up when that spam came in and through a wall as well.
He's broken it for his teammates.
I don't even know how he knows this guy's here.
Like maybe they consider
I guess what happened is Jonah P's talked to this guy, said this guy was like spamming, maybe?
No idea that somebody's already in kitchen.
Or making footsteps or jumping or something. And we just straight up spam off the sound cue in the comms.
A good start, spike on the floor, but there's Jonah P's flank coming into fruition. Devi tries to hold the space, spike down, and they want to keep that control. Jing's coming in to support up top. It's a big swing and one that works out, leaving Jonah P, the flanker, to do it all. Something gets a second lease of life, and with the off, that might be all he needs, but Jonah P really starting to take a bite out of this round. 20 seconds left, though. Spike quite far away, defended by Devi, and an op on the rotation. A near impossible situation.
Maybe a little bit of an overextension from Jing. There is still a chance if he can quickly find this kill, but I think it's patient from Devi. He actually gets away.
Yeah, hold up.
Now there is a chance for him to plant at the
he
back
went for
of
the plant at the back.
It's only going to be the sprint
straight away. Just the ropes, man. Devi got there so fast because of the rope.
That does not happen.
Got a little
still
bit scary.
3 people
go
down.
Opportunities, and there was a moment where something went down, right? He's 26 HP. One more bullet landed precisely. He could have been out of the game, and then that 1v1 might have even been taken.
They banned Sunset or Abyss?
But
they banned
the round
Sunset.
ultimately falls into the hands of PRX 3-2. Wow. Jing was lucky to avoid that in the first place.
Yeah, I think good ultimate from Forsaken, managing to cause sort of some disruption while Jing goes to swing, and then also the fact that he escapes, because I think Jing is almost immediately traded out from that mid lurk, and that is, again, something that G2 are doing very well, is just selling false information, like breaking that turret from a player further back, a clear plan to give space.
Turret up top. Did it see him?
Yeah,
well,
that was
doesn't
nice.
matter.
Just tucked in the
Something's
whole
got
time.
the kill anyways. It was broken from further back, and nice setup
But is
for
this the big
PRX.
round that's
And then they fill in
gonna
the space.
decide
You know they're not
how the
likely
half goes?
to challenge
Pretty
that a
much.
second time. The push-up, though, it's going to be a little risky. Something's being surrounded
Got
on
3
all
people
sides.
either
Jinx
team that
kept
can't buy
control
next,
over main,
basically.
but they've lost the site itself. A nice kill by Mindfreak makes this a little bit more competitive. G2 down and out. Icy's the last man standing. 1v4, 5 HP on Mindfreak. That's probably the only thing we can look to as a positive. It's got some utility. That'll buy
actually
him
hits
some
the
time.
spike.
The wraparound up towards heaven. And they still think that he's pretty close. The alarm bells should be ringing, and now, well, now they've got the information on exactly where he is.
He can just defuse behind there, right?
Double swing should put him in the ground. It's a little early for Mindfreak, but he hits the shot.
This was a nice attempt, though.
This guy is popping up in this round again. I feel like there were players getting caught out.
Yeah,
the reckoning,
G2 have to eco. PRX can take
control
here. Honestly, on defense, they might get a good amount of rounds.
Does very well to have that aggressive push initially, a fallback that still catches the player mid. And again, I don't necessarily mind the adaptation from G2. It's like, okay, they take an aggressive B control. Let's try and quickly split through mid. But it seemed like even though that control had been given up, PRX were very aware. And wow, Mindfreak just playing with absolute confidence. Don't expect anything else.
Well, yeah, at this stage especially. Something as well with the early picks. He's been up there. You can see the reality behind that operator buy, why they wanted to go for it so early on.
They're kind of close to a lot of ults, but
now an opportunity for him on the A side. Early aggression coming out.
We got some NA stingers.
Yet again, always has that second man behind him, but the wall's going to concede the space. They fall back, set up for another pick. Good space taking.
The guns, it has to be a faster pace take.
Bro, he has to go past the alarm bot.
One that actually has a rifle. They haven't
too far away.
Way too far, but it's only going to be the one. And now the rest. Well,
should have gone way more for that. Devised on unreal work on this.
Shorty kill as well. Something farming them up. It's Icy left alone. Again, a 1v5 this time, and not one he'll find.
Right, I mean, that's impressive. Devi really bailed them out, I'm telling you, because pretty sure the alarm bot when you're in the Viper smoke, yeah, they're talking about it now at least.
And Jonah P's flanks have been
like if it's on the edge, you can just walk through, so it'd be like more center.
Unfortunate for the side of G2 is that's now 2 rounds that's happened. Again, maybe at some point you'll see it mentioned if there's
either that or I missed something. I know he at least blocked the. I know they at least wall blocked it. Alright.
You've had the right timing, you've had the moment to get the space, but the reactions of PRX are so fast. You get one kill and it's instant the response each time. 4-3. Lead taken by PRX. Something, as said, if this guy's online, it's terrifying. And wow, Jing's gonna push over the top.
Wait, that's awesome. You have a hidden wall in front of the orb, and then you peek over the top.
Down the tube. We saw him sprinting right at the start of the
and
round.
at the same time, it kind of blocks the mid push. That's sick. Have we never seen that before?
Yes, they will. Yeah. Sending it out. Ops blocked, rotations are in, and they're crossing that angle for free.
Also, Jing and something are like a package deal. So a lot of the time, if you've seen Jing, then you go, all right, there's probably an operator here. Let's be careful with it. The early rotation
PRX have been pracking this hard. Like they must have decided they were picking this up pretty early on. They got a lot of stuff. Even the Sova again got some. I'm not sure if they're new lineups, but
can't be utilized again.
Yeah, they've got to get the kills to take the space if that's going to be a factor in the late round, and by then you won't really need it. Mindfreak tucked up close.
Dude, 3 people here with the early info.
They're going to go back to the yellow push and Viper's Pit. Yeah, there it is. It's activated. So it's online for both squads. Curious to see if Jonah P's going to decide to activate his with a lockdown in play to push them out of the pit.
Mindfreak stay.
Take the space. No, he's out of here. And I think
I was thinking that Mindfreak was going to tank this at the back.
There shouldn't be enough time for him to get back into that, so that's actually huge. Removing that from play.
Your job, it's a little bit late if he's going to put that one down. Yeah, I had to do this one earlier. I think it was just he was the rotate, right? So pretty much only just got there.
We're going to get the third person as now they do what was
done to them, but it gives them a lot of space at the back here.
You might be able to hold on to this ultimate, and I feel like G2 are going to try and do that.
They are, but you could see the pings from PRX. They want to compete for that back angle. Haven't had any success. Jing, something forsaken, all falling.
This was such a big round. I didn't really like what I saw from PRX.
To head for the hills. Maybe looking to stick around and make this a bit more costly.
I think there was a couple of decisions here that could have won PRX. I think Mindfreak should have stuck in the ult at the back. Purely because of people being able to flood in and at least trade them. And they kind of want to take the jewels early, considering they had the guns.
Yeah, I like the way that was
and
played
they had Viper.
I feel like that was a game of chicken. Like, you had a couple of ultimates in play, either side using basically exactly the same thing. And just
Allison, thank you so much as well with the tier 1. Appreciate the 24 months.
They had to fully retreat,
thank you
but
for
then
doing
being
that.
able to hold on to their own because of the space that hadn't quite been taken, and making sure that there was defense outside of the pit to make sure that nobody could really get that move. 4-4. Economy, although damaged, not broken, and there will still be an operator for something, and we've already seen that when he's in position, when he's able...
Yeah, that was a bit of a costly round.
Play, which I think he will be here.
Really happy with that one.
Much tougher for the opponents.
Well, G2 are wasting no time in the A main control, sending Jonah P out to the B site. No surprise, he's on the lurk. The success, he's had a lot of success, but whenever he does,
yeah, I like this reposition though.
Push
I feel like they create pressure over towards. Yeah.
Jonah P does well here, lighting Mind Freak down to 46, but fails to get the kill on the jump peak, and the rotation's on its way. They're focused on the B site. Well. PRX seem to have an idea that this is where it's coming through. You see the shift from Devi. He's closer by now in Kitchen to help out.
It's kind of sick that this is going to be the last tournament that we see Icebox at.
Keep his teammates safe from information, but the Dizzy likely going to do that. The immediate swing. Mind Freak still gets one, and now
he's going for the Grim Wall.
Leaf picks him out of the air. It's an angle that I feel like a lot of players would miss, but not Leaf. And now the retake's looking tough.
Yeah, it absolutely is. The numbers against them, and there it is. Thrash was online, activated now. Valen tucked down below, manages to catch Devi and something off guard. And there's no need for any further aggression from this G2 side. Forsaken's out of here to try to save,
finally
but they've already got him boxed in, like you said, Tom. Leaf right up behind him. Whoop, the timing, he might actually have seen the barrel there. Yeah, now he's got a good idea.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. That's one way to do it. The lead back in G2's hands, 5-4.
Doing the Grim War against NA players, yeah, that's the thing.
Looking like a very competitive game at the moment. Now for, I think both of these squads, a lot of the time when they've had big success, it has been on that attacking side. So I don't think PRX is going to be too worried about this just yet, especially having that additional duel.
Nicely done from Leaf, bro.
I think though how many times we've already seen that Thrash available. Like they have been farming that up on Icy. It's been used so many times throughout this, and the impact it has just being able to clear a lot of those close angles.
Him. Goka, thank you so much, man. Dude, with the tier 2 as well, thank you so much. Dude, appreciate the 6 months.
A PRX attempt to run in the future, because I think that the Gecko in particular on this map is so ridiculously strong, and you already have
gets none from that wall, yeah.
Has shown that he can use it to an incredibly high degree. I will say some of the angles he's taken he wouldn't be able to get to if he wasn't playing the Jet, but I don't know. I still think there might be more value in it for him.
Yeah, it's curious as well how quickly, and you saw in the replay, I didn't hear what he was saying, but I have an idea. Leaf seemed very happy to have picked Jing out of the air. And yesterday, I think it was yesterday, right on Ascent, how many times did we see that Sage Wall up in main? It caught so many players off guard. And that's a bit more of an unusual one to see him play. Yeah. So fair play to Leaf for reacting after just a few shots coming this way. PRX had a timeout here.
Alex smiling.
Do, but this
they're doing it right. They lost pistol. They got 4 on defense.
In play, couple pistols. I expect a much more direct defensive side aggression to start this one off.
I feel like they've gone for a lot of early A control throughout this game, and it's not really been met by anything. It's a lot more passive from the side of G2, and obviously a lot of the goal is just to try and collect the orbs. I don't think they're going to be able to get the one on the B site though, because G2 have been, again, very heavy on the B lean. A lot of the time when it's gone in the other direction, it's been lower purchases.
Whose pick is this? PRX's pick.
They just have an incredibly clean B execute and post plant, and they are abusing it.
Look at how cautious G2 are being. Playing early, we saw on the A site, PRX took the control for free, like you said, and they grabbed themselves an orb. But G2 do just the same. Now
late re-clear on Eco.
Firing squad, a little bit of danger on the push, but it's dealt with immediately. Forsaken, able to step up for one. Second shot not going to land.
Just too ready for this.
He's out of here with the Sheriff.
Seen these antics
off
before.
the A site leaves Jing alone.
I think the idea from PRX is fine as well, because the amount of time that G2 will like go somewhere, cut sounds, go back.
At least get himself a little bit of a heal and drop Leaf. Okay.
They were just trying to push, hope to get the information that they'd actually gone back to A, and then they could stack to A.
But they're set up in a decent position.
Yeah, both Hunter's Furies online now as well.
Big 30 seconds, wall goes up. 2 people here, flank behind, person clears B.
If he can be disruptive here, that would be nice. The spot comes in from something.
20 seconds.
Play a part, and now
oh my god, Sova all invested.
Fury from the flank. It's not really going to
Slow invested 15 seconds. Dude, they haven't got much time for this. Dude, Wingman is going at like 1 mile per hour because of the slow. That was close, man. Dude, if he had another slow there, that was done.
Comfortable anti-eco, but they've managed to make it work.
Dude, Wingman was doing like a gauntlet run on like 10 seconds for a slow. Oh, mouse will bug again.
Jumped a little too soon. 6-4 now. G2. 2-round lead. Chance to extend it even more before the half is over.
Crabster, thank you so much.
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to want to do that.
YouTube crew checking in. Use the prime. Thank you so much for that, Crabster. Appreciate
on
you.
this map, but it was normally the attack side when they played versus Lev that looked decent. So I think they're going to want to try and extend that to an 8-4 lead. And as I said, like PRX on the attack, you've always got to be careful.
OS Koa, thank you so much for the tier 1 as well, bro. Appreciate you doing that.
They were having the something Jing show.
Yeah, that was a pretty good try from PRX though. Considering the low buy, that was a close round.
You can even see it now.
Yeah, the overwhelm of this should be too much. They kind of just got to leave sight.
Something could just be sat on with an operator. I'm off for now.
Why do they not use jump on spacebar? The thing is, like, most of these players came from CS. So you could imagine, like, what, 5+ years of playing and then having it as mouse wheel to make sure you can bunny hop. Switch over to a game. Not that hard to get rid of 5 years plus of
push up now.
Just your memory, I guess.
The wall actually
plus, it's just like, why would you need to change it? Some mice don't do it. I think it's more just like looking at the mouse itself. There are mice that don't do it.
And now that they think there could
it's
be a
just the ones that have like looser mouse wheels.
Luckily he didn't, because Jonah P was waiting as always.
But also it would have taken as a alarm bot down if we went too far. So at least they'll get that extra little piece of information. Now have the players in at the right time. Something though. Again.
Yeah, and it's just too hard to fight over towards site. They only use the 1 ult and they have the over ult for either next round or we have it for the after plant.
Just waiting, watching.
It's an impossible retake, especially with this lag, man. It's been a nice round from
one-dimensional retake from PRX.
G2.
He's heard the steps, but he knows that turret's still online. That's going to be a problem. Has to break it and give it away, but in comes the Hunter's Fury, taking down Forsaken. Divide falls too. They eventually deal with the flank they knew was coming, but there's still so many more to drop. There's Jing onto Icy. A chance now. Life breathed back into the side of PRX, but look right down below. A sneaky spot from Leaf that gets his third of the round.
No idea about Leaf on this. He found a really insane timing.
In the coffin of this, with Jing left alive. Time ticking away, and he just has to save that weapon, run for the hills, and concede a 7th to G2. A strong lead for the attacking side, and it isn't over yet.
Yeah, and also even just the casualties are meaningless.
Double audio, yeah, I think the overview
G2 that they can toy with their opponents in the late round. But no, it has just been. I feel
Akiko
like
again, thank you so much, man. Appreciate the prime.
G2 when it's needed most. Like we spoke about those lurks, but Leaf here just playing a patient game. Something that, to be honest, he was seen. So they knew that he was around there, but I guess assuming that he'd fallen back for the late round post plan.
Yeah.
And now,
like 12 years of bunny hop muscle memory, that's what I mean. It's just impossible to get rid of it.
I'm sure they're going to want to try and
it's not impossible, it's just
already challenging early for the orb, but I was going to say it's gone all right.
Whoa, that's a nice extra kill from Valen.
Valen again.
Yeah, that's the round right there.
Doesn't need the orb either, does he? Leaf's got his ult online from that pick. Yeah, that looked really good.
The staggering utility from G2
pushed PRX back. They
got mollies on this. Leaf has this ult that he can do relatively early. You can see that in the next 5 seconds.
Despite the util being thrown their way. But now the fact that Leaf got that pick, has the ultimate to work with. It's going to buy so much time. And then you've got to root these players out of position. Tren still has a shock dart to work with.
And then you still got the mollies and the alarm bot.
Alongside an alarm bot. This is going to be a very difficult round.
Hey, this map is so good. It's last tournament,
dude. All of these retakes. This one feels that little bit more.
And hopefully it never comes back into the map pool.
The one to find the kill, and Device looking the wrong way.
Very nicely done from G2. It was looking really good for PRX at one point.
First half from G2 and PRX better.
Then the buy rounds came in. Pretty much ever since that. Was this the big ult rounds over towards B? Like that changed a lot of the game.
But G2 the last few rounds just stabilized, slowed things down, had these really good takes. So I think it's going to be a tough second half. We'll see if PRX can turn it after the break.
Music, yeah.
Oh, come on.
PRX need a roster change? No, that would be the DRX route of just like forgetting about their PRX are like, again, PRX are 1 meta away from being like the best team. Imagine we had like a big duelist meta. Wasn't as important. Or I would even say they're like map changes away being good, like a good good meta or a good map selection. Good map rotation. Yeah, I do think they need to lean in Sova a bit more. Because it looks like Ascent is just not going anywhere. Team would heavily benefit from that. Wait, what are the maps that are going out? Maybe this one's good. Icebox and what was the second map again? Going out? Icebox and Lotus. I see. Lotus is one of their better maps though. So, but their split was good, and their Pearl wasn't too bad. So yeah, it should be better for them at least.
Their best to disrupt, but it's them that have been left in the dirt now for G2.
Yeah, they were the ones that used Phoenix, right?
The second half, and
yeah, they had a pretty good
quite a lead. A pistol here. It may just be into the home stretch. The pressure is on if you're a PRX fan.
Well, it's dangerous as well because this is
E&D, Barnow, thank you so much, man.
I don't think they'll feel too uncomfortable going
Barnow,
into
thank you for the
Lotus.
prime.
It's been a strong map for them recently.
The 4 months, bro.
Neon is something that always enjoyable to watch, but ultimately you're not going to want to lose your own map choice at the beginning of the day.
In CGRS
they're going to have a very strong attack side. Now they normally do. As I said, when they win this map,
I was a beast, man. That event was so funny to watch.
10-2 attack halves versus
He did so good.
even DRX, the prior time to last. And a lot of this comes off the back, well, the 2 players we've just witnessed, Jing and Forsaken. Oh, sorry, Jing and Something.
The pistol ball.
Terrifying duo on the entry. But just look at already the aggressive stance.
It's a weird wall. It's a retake wall over towards A, but as you see the bottom of this wall and you see the angle,
off the back of the contact,
I kind of realize it is. So it'll be interesting to see if their plan's good enough. I think if I'm looking at this wall here that you would like, I'm kind of cool to take screens. Fight heavy left to sight.
In fact, the flank abandoned after breaking the turret.
Take a lot of space.
This is a more conventional
that'll
retake.
help.
Wall buys a little
I mean,
bit
they
of
have
time,
no excuse to not fight heavy here.
Shock dart though for damage.
They have so much plant denial a lot of the time on the side of G2.
Yeah, I like this from PRX done good though. Quite a few in front of the wall.
One man still hidden in the corner and he strikes. Mind Freak with a couple.
Dude, look at the trades.
With another, and in fact he gets 2 himself. But it's left onto Trent. You wouldn't want anyone else at a clutch, and although he's almost taken it down.
Oh my god, just before the shock, that was sick. Okay, nicely done from Jing. That was so close, bro. 1-1 pistols. I tell you what's impressive here. So PRX in theory, Hive Mind's no like set caller. Whoever's made the decision and looked at that wall there and realized that they need to fight like heavy over towards the site and not play like big after plant, that was everything.
That first half. 5 rounds in a row before this for G2.
Probably got to break 2 bits of the wall there, I'm not gonna lie. Then this guy has like a full freedom to swing.
Job done for this one.
Yeah, someone on PRX there made a really good mid-round call.
It looks like the defensive side are almost trying to sell confusion here. They've got the Viper screen combining with the Harbor Wall. The thing is, it seems like PRX, similarly to the last round, are just happy to play around their opponent's utility, like almost use it to their advantage. It's whether or not they can.
Lost the pistol, yeah, it's rare.
Their opponents can.
I mean, they've taken a big gamble. The turret is watching the back, but they're committing 5 players after making all this noise. The stack up is there from G2, but it doesn't seem to matter. They're being shredded on the site with 1 man behind that wall.
I wonder when G2 scrap this wall.
To do it all. Let's see if he can find a 1v5 with a classic. No. What a surprise.
Kayat, the Prime, thank you so much for the 3 months, man.
Farming up some orbs and a solid one without a single player
Appreciate you
falling
doing
for PRX.
Yeah, and the thing is, they invested in with 4 rifles. So normally you're expecting, okay, maybe you can afford to lose a couple of players. In that case, they couldn't, but they kept it so ridiculously clean. Didn't really struggle at all. Orbs kind of spread across the board, which obviously it's nice in the future, but right now will be a little bit more frustrating. But then they bought back up with an Outlaw as well. Like we see this quite often, having that lurking player, just being able to hold down mid, watch anybody who's trying to push on the A site. For now, though, it's an important round for G2 because they lose this bonus, and it's a strong bonus. They're right back in the game. He's just full sprint. He's just okay. This W gaming. How could I forget?
Hey, creates a lot of pressure here.
Well, in case you need
Look at him.
There it is.
They're all going for him.
Man's lost his shift key. We'll see if he finds
We've
it
got
soon.
4 people clearing him out.
He's been hurt. Leaf has a vague idea.
Gonna walk out of here.
But look at the commitment from G2 to re-clearing out in kitchen. Player right down below him, and well, I mean, something is just playing an unhinged style here. He gets shot in the back.
So unlucky. I mean, he at least gets info. But I mean, it kind of works both ways, right? They both get info that he's here.
All around B while the A site's taken.
They're so focused on him. They're so focused looking at him.
They just get a free sign. So this is what G2 want in theory with this wall, though. They want you to play after plant, so let's see how it actually looks.
Keep an eye on him, and you need to still keep an eye on him. There was a pixel there that maybe he could find something. Even spotting.
Dude, no one heard him. Oh my god.
Know that he's still here, but it seems like they're just relying on this wall. The turret is.
Oh boy.
He is. He's past the turret, and now just going in behind them. Only the one so far.
Stay alive now.
To deal with this man. The whole round has been about dealing with something.
They haven't even seen anyone else getting towards the spike, sure, but the guy's still behind them, spraying away.
Even half.
Now the fight up in front. Okay, something falls, so too does Divide, but Spike not even half just yet. The sprays are good. Mindfreak gets another and a triple to close it out.
That was crisp, bro. 1v3. Lovely shots, man. Yeah, force him down to an eco as well. That is some impact.
Yeah, a Red Bull clutch.
That is some impact right there.
But it's just, again, one of those rounds that you're going to look back on and go, well, they didn't.
Dude, that got really close considering the positions.
You forgot who he was. Like what he
I mean, they went down to a 1v3.
There were so many moments in that round where you just think, even though something, he doesn't get like the triple kill, he doesn't get the multi-frag. There was so little time left.
Damn, bro's pumped up, man.
For the rest of the team because they're so focused on killing one guy. And of course you are. It's the solo
thank you so much, man. Appreciate the prime. Thank you,
You're not going to expect him to be alone.
I haven't seen someone play like that in a long time. Outside of rank.
With the 10 months, thank you for the prime.
Valens not going to get
anything. Force them down to the eco, like we said, just all Sheriff's armor.
Underway. Turret's much more passive, so Leaf will get pretty close. Not close enough to actually take anyone down. He could. Oh, of course. Devi's the one that fell right away. So yeah, he's able to make
no
it
one's
all
even
the way
looking
up,
for this at the
making it into
moment.
heaven, grabbing himself a weapon, and now a serious danger down below. He's got something. The res is right above. It's free for Leaf.
Oh god, no.
A phenomenal round, and he's looking for more.
Oh, like that. Leaf, that was insane.
This time a 4K against
pistols,
the
insta-res. The timing of it was so brutal.
Forgetting about something, I think they forgot the turret was down. He got so much space.
I mean, I just don't think they thought the timing could be that good with the turret.
Well, we normally talk about hitting a headshot. They definitely don't need that. Body shot will do the job. He's trying to sell the idea.
I mean, Jonah P's is playing it so well.
Not been sold whatsoever, and while Jonah P's gonna hit the headshot anyway, the MasterCard Thrifty will be what brings
man, that is devastating. Dude, that was such a play from Leaf, though. And the only player that they kill is the Killjoy as well, to mean that the turret goes off to enable it.
Dropping the turret, his position, given a free weapon down below. The fact that the res goes
and the res. Bro, the res was so instant.
Guys, they panic to try and cover Device so he doesn't die a second time, and that ends up giving a flurry of frags over to Leaf. Now 15 and 11. And one away from a lockdown. G2 with a lot
that was
of
the eco we were talking about.
Coming online. Same can be said for
only Sheriffs, only armor going into
though.
it. Leaf makes an absolutely hero play, and they're so close to so many
Either
ults.
going to close or be extended massively by G2 here. Credits down to the last.
They need to make sure that they trade kills here.
The only thing that's going to pad the gap is
wall committed over towards A normally means that they're sending it. Free pass and B push going to lock them in a sec.
G2 already moving around that flank. They're in the spawn already. But by the time they get there, the post plant will be set. This time, turret should be available to give them the information. In fact, Forsaken is already watching, but he has Hunter's Fury. Oh, it's actually got past him.
Oh, the flash and Flash and the ult, and the ult, giving them info of this guy. Dude, it's gone horribly. PRX, maybe Mindfreak with the ult.
Having to fight through the pit though could be the advantage they need. In goes the Thrash, and Mindfreak can't quite dodge it. They know exactly where he is. The pressure is on Jing. He has to cover this man to keep the pit online, to keep the chances there for PRX, and he'll get nothing.
It was impressive from G2, man. They handled this so well.
Double digits on the board. Pit invested for PRX, and credits.
It was a Som moment. Yeah, I thought it. I thought when he got stunned in there, I was like, hold up, we've seen this before.
Definitely not going to be an ideal scenario.
Back to back. PRX have the eco one.
Not sure it works like that.
That's how the finisher goes, but.
Oh yeah, no, beautiful retake, but also the read initially. Like, the flank came through so fast that, although I was a little bit worried, this is the thing that's great about G2 is they're so methodical. They put the Reckoning through and I go, okay, there's a gap, and that gap is where Forsaken
so just a low by now, Stingers are out.
Sure. It's so clean with making sure that there isn't
They're still
those
really
gaps
close
left.
to ult. Oh.
While
So hard for PRX now.
Still though, Blade Storm, something, mentioned it in the first half. We know what this guy can do with it. Already going to take a lot of early space. They also have the Hunter's Fury as well, so if this can get into the late rounds, it could get dangerous, but that lockdown's available for the
Vi's bought pretty heavy into it.
PRX are so fast. Usually that drone will slow you down a bit, but they just sprint straight at it, taking control over the site, and that gets the lockdown into play. Shock darts to harass the planter.
Yeah, they decide to not plant.
Out of there.
Yeah, just waiting.
was attempted for a moment. G2 though seemed to have fallen back.
I was going to say the wolf's still up, so they should feel pretty.
But they might not know PRX. This is a team that isn't keen to give up on the A game. Still looking for, well, the A side.
Trent the whole time's just been spraying down the wall. Another three-person push. Locked him in over towards A again.
The plant is going to be enabled, and something is desperately looking for someone to give him a fight, because the weaponry's such a huge disadvantage for the rest
they're
of the
everywhere.
team.
Make sure there's no luck. Now they know there's all on site. No one has to worry about behind. They got the turret.
He just wants to try and get something out of it revealed, but does have support.
Well, that flash sends all the support backwards. Jing's caught, still blinded up. Hunter's Fury goes through, though. Forsaken able to trade out onto Icy. Gets the push out of Devi. Back and forth the kills go, but it's still G2 with the advantage. If they catch Mindfreak for free, it could be something, but he's freaking out.
Oh, my.
Leaf down, the defuse already halfway. He's sticking it all the way. Forsaken.
No way, he digs him and he's still alive.
Gets it across the line.
That's ridiculous, bro. That 1v1 was wild. Dude, Icy's getting so much for his flash. Every single time they flash, they're taking so much space, and they're always getting like one of the first kills in the retake from it.
Never quite gets it done.
Dude, this was a wild 1v1.
Just the biggest jump scare ever.
Whoa, he should have gone down, really. 20.
Far away for Forsaken. Well, Alex, and he needs to breathe, needs to get the frustration out, because he's about to talk to the boys. That's what he always says. He's like, I get the frustration out, then I talk to them in a calm manner. Well, they've lost 3 rounds in a row. They're 2 away from losing their own map choice.
It's been miracle timeout. They've at least got a buy round with it. But
something here, because there's been quite a few of these rounds, Mitch, where they haven't been far away. It's just right at the last moment, there's like a really solid flash or some great utility. I think every ultimate that's been used by G2 has been high impact. So
the music, bro, the music's been wild this whole event.
And I think a lot of that, especially, comes down to that Gecko. I think Icy has been incredible. Like, his flashes have ruined so many players over on the PRX side. Like, even just think about the beginning of the last retake. I think 3 people were blind by that first flash. Yeah, you know, I expect to be looking at players like Valen coming in. Even Leaf, we've seen it in his heyday, but Icy really impressed me in that first half as well. He was putting up numbers, winning out his fights, his supportive utilities being up there as well. And on the side of PRX, like you say, they've been close, and that's the most frustrating part about it. Having it within your grasp and then feeling it slip away with a 4-round gap. It's now or never. They've got to step it up. And no ultimates online. A res and a lockdown just one away, but G2 come in with the advantage. They have not only the Viper's Pit, but a Hunter's Fury as well. And those ults have been finding impact. Yeah, as said, I think most of, if not all, their ultimates have been super high impact whenever they've put them into play.
And a change will go from PRX. They at least know this setup is going to
try and funnel them in a different direction.
G2 have definitely done this setup before, quite a few times. So they've used shocks in theory to break the alarm bot on the right, which should
I also
Create
love
2
the super
avenues,
deep alarm
which means
bot
they
that
have to
put
hold
in.
2
The
over
shock darts
towards
went
B,
through to
so that
try
when
and
they hit
deny
A,
that
it's
utility,
weaker.
assuming that
As we
you
can
would be
see,
playing
shock
that little
darts
bit more
haven't hit.
passive.
I don't know
Gotta be
if
around the
this
choke
looks like
point, but instead
this
it's
is
further
like a
up, just
deeper
covering,
alarm bot than what they normally do.
Jonah P's left side.
It might be down
Think
to
about it that way.
G2,
He can
changing it
cover
up
the right.
ever so
It's a really
slightly.
nice setup. It's going to leave him in a very favorable fight either way. And if someone touches the alarm bot, Nano goes up and Jonah can just
SK,
fall back
thank
a
you so
little
much,
bit
man.
more
How we doing,
passive.
bro? Appreciate the
Also,
16 months.
exactly
Thank you
what
for the
G2
prime.
want them to do.
Yeah.
They're fighting for mid control just to make sure they can't split back towards the B site. You got the Hunter's
Whose
Fury
Lotus is more
for an attempt to
convincing?
plant denial or to even clear
I'm telling
something
you,
out
I
in
only think
retake.
PRX have a better
PRX are
map
doing
than
what they
G2
want,
on
but it's
Sunset,
whether or
and
not,
that's it.
As always,
They can win
make it work
Lotus,
anyway.
but
It's gonna be
like
something
if they
with
played
those
it 10
aggressive
times,
backs,
I would
but
always
feel
have
like
G2
G2
winning
haven't given
Lotus,
any of
like
them
more.
away. They've been
Probably
so
7 out of the
good
3.
at making sure that doesn't happen, and already there's the man advantage.
7 out of the 10 even.
On. That shot just swinging
Flank
through
as
players,
well.
but with Mind Freak down, yeah. Flank is now wide open. PRX don't have any ground to fall back to. They have to fight forward. That's exactly what they're going to try to do. Something in Forsaken, the sprays, just avoid it. Then G2 go on the push. Forsaken good for 1, but Device fall and the trades are there. Forsaken keeping it alive on the site, but he can't do much from that corner. And the spray,
got the guy behind, that's insane.
It won't get it done.
Yeah, this is a bit of a nightmare again. I'm pretty confident the G2 does their alarm bot a little bit deeper than before, and it dodges the shock darts. And I think that just that small little micro change, I'm not saying it won them the round, but at least helped them have numbers here.
This round, it looks like
and just full info and just be on top of just fast rotates. Maybe he gets the ult in the right place, who knows.
He fired a shock dart.
They play so well together. And telling you, IC's util is really good on this map.
So no matter what, you're taking the damage. You don't have a choice.
And that was all really the goal was. Get an opener, play the retake. They've
all right.
such stellar retake.
5 chances. 5 chances to finish this one off.
Now for G2, and they haven't.
Here is PRX's pick. Oh, they changed the logo. Did I only just realize that they did that?
There we go, though. The battle for B. I think the expectation was after the A hits, it's going to eventually fall back in this direction. Valen is in a great spot, if not.
Oh, we got the fight set up. We're not checking the corners.
It's a bit of a mistake, and now he gets to just pounce on the remaining players. Even still, PRX are keeping this one close, and the res actually.
Valen's like, how have I managed to get out of here? You do get the res though. I'm probably going to see Killjoy as well. Speaking of Killjoy's, Leaf's taking full control over towards B. I don't even.
You got the turret up. Leaf wants to flank, but he'll be giving away that information soon. Lockdown in play, gets them the space on the site. Advantage there, damage done to Valen. This seems to certainly be a favored round for PRX, perhaps the start of the comeback. Shock dart's good for some damage. A few of these players now lit up.
Ooh, okay, 1 for Leaf, but again.
Yeah, I really wanted to get out of there.
With the trade. Jing gonna heal himself back up and leaves just a couple standing.
The timing of that, just as he went for the tap. Right, nicely done from PRX. Double ult use though, so repeat this pretty much impossible. Killjoy ult, stage ult.
4 in a row. It's doable. We saw G2 close out the half in just the same fashion. They can hit their stride. But for G2, the other thing is you take a look at those credits. They're starting to run a little dry. This squad does have Reckoning to work with. No other ultimates close to being online. It looks like a light buy based around the Outlaw. Big fan of this kind of setup. Question is where it's going to be used. And for Leaf, it seems to be a middle peak. He'll have his turret covering it. And they are moving towards him. We'll see if that Outlaw can have the impact. We hear the shots fire, but they don't find their mark.
Nope, not going to be anything. And it's
oh,
the same again.
No,
okay,
he messed up the
shot.
dash. Slightly clipped the wall.
Aim training, that's for sure.
Oh, no.
Oh, guys, don't get fully ecoed. There's just some sheriffs here, not again. What? No way.
Oh, that's just.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Mind Freak's the savior.
Was looking like it was falling apart, but maybe in the most uncharacteristic way, they might take it anyway. Flank coming in. That's the major danger. And now it's left all onto Jing. It's not been a great round.
Oh, it's on his head.
Under real pressure. The spike gonna take some serious damage. And he's, I think he's just got lost in the source.
Dude, they got double sheriff.
Around the PRX are definitely going to want to forget.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a hard one to forget, though.
Look at them all just double checking. Yeah, we definitely won. We're all good.
Thrifty closing out
right.
the map 13-8, and G2.
Yeah, solid from G2.
Very strong. That was
the double 50s.
and they
not
had
great.
Outclassed, outthought every step of the way.
Fidel TV, thank you so much as well, bro. Appreciate the tier 1. Welcome in, man.
Well, we're going to find out.